Whenever I say a healing process and I said yes to a healing journey, I mean, God's like, all right, buckle up, sister, let's go. Because this isn't going to, I knew it wasn't going to be fast, but I sure as heck didn't think it was going to take as long as it did. So this happened at the beginning of 2018. My breakthrough didn't come until toward the end of 2019. So I battled for almost a year and a half. When I say battled, I still am on that healing journey today, but I didn't see true breakthrough until probably a year and a half later. So September of 2019, I was sitting in Trinity Fellowship, the West Auditorium. It was like a Wednesday or something. It wasn't a Sunday morning. And it was like we were worshiping and I just was numb. I was numb to the pain. I was angry, and everyone around me was standing up worshiping, and I was sitting on the chair. I had my journal out, but I mean, I just was like, just sitting there. And if you know me, like worship is something that I do. Worship is something that how I communicate with the Lord. It's one of my favorite things. And to have me just to be sitting down, I mean, you can be standing up and like be numb to it all, but to be sitting down while everybody else around you standing, I just was done. I was done. And I remember saying to myself, I actually wrote it down. So Psalm 37:4. I've heard that verse my whole life. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. And I remember saying, God, I have given you everything, which is so terrible to say that, but I was like, I've given you my everything. I've given you my all. I spend every day with you. Like, I'm not out drinking. I'm not out rebounding. I'm not out doing this and that. I worship you. I love you. I'm giving you the desires of my heart. But what have you given me? You're not giving me anything. And whenever I say that, because of time, everything I thought was everything was a husband. and
I love how transparent you were with God.
Oh yeah.
We act like God doesn't know our feelings, doesn't know our thoughts. But I love how transparent you are with God in this moment. I just want to throw that in. Continue.
Yeah, well, that's actually something I learned. I mean, I'm not saying God was yelling back at me, but he's so sweet. So sweet. He's like, come on, daughter, just say it. Just say it. Let it out. Be you, be real. Because so many of us just keep it together all the time. So yeah, he welcomed it. So anyways, I'm over here like, I've given you everything. I've given you my everything. And what have you given me? Which is so terrible, which is such a lie. So I just was like, this is it. I'm done. I'm done just with where I am. So I said that verse, as angry as I am with that verse about, delighting yourself in the Lord, I said, I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to delight myself in the Lord. Whatever that looks like, I'm going to do it. And I don't know what's going to come of it, but I'm going to do it. I may not get anything in return, but I'm going to do it. So at that point, I started delighting myself in the Lord, which I think, if anything, I don't remember doing anything physically different, but I think mentally it was like, I give up on the idea of earning what I want. And I just was like, I'm done with that. I'm just going to delight myself in you, Lord. Just going to delight myself in you. Delight myself in you. I mean, all day, every day, like, I'm here for you. I'm serving you. What do you want? I'm here. And I stopped thinking about what can I get out of having a relationship with God. And all of a sudden I woke up and I realized that. So let me back up. So September is when this happened. October, November, the Lord starts placing these things on my heart. So one of the things was grad school. I knew that I always wanted to go to grad school, but I just kind of wasn't really looking into it at all. And one day God kind of was like, hey, what do you think of grad school? And I was like, okay. And I talked about it with my family and they were like, do it, Kaylee, do it. And so I started doing research. I did probably research for about a week. God put resources into my life. Working in the ER, I had a WT student with me. And so the instructors came and I was like, hey, I'm actually looking into grad school. What do y'all think of WT? And they were like, email this person. They gave me an email. They said, say this. So the Lord just made it happen. So much so that whenever I applied in like October, November of 2019, I was accepted into the spring semester of 2020, which that was way past the deadline. And not only that, how it was going to work was I was put into the master's program, and later I was going to have to go reapply to get into the nurse practitioner program. But something happened, like it was an accident, and God like placed me into the nurse practitioner program, and it just was amazing. It was so evident he was, I was meant to do this, which gives me peace today, being in one of my second to last final semester. Like, so spring is my last semester. I keep telling myself I'm meant to be here. God has provided for me. He's equipped me. So, and then the other thing is my sister, it's actually so beautiful. After she struggled with the 3 miscarriages, she had her second daughter in October of 2019. And the director of labor and delivery, she knows me and my family personally. She walks in, says hi to Carissa, and she goes, Kaylee, when are you going to come work for me in labor and delivery? And if you know anything about my story, I actually always, from nursing school, I wanted to do labor and delivery. The first baby I saw via C-section, I cried in the OR. And I was like, oh, maybe I do want to do this. But I never got to do it. I had to do med surg and ER first. And so all of a sudden, like, God is like placing these desires. I'm delighting myself in the Lord, and he's giving me the desires of my heart, but things that I forgot about. I forgot I wanted grad school. I forgot I actually wanted to work in labor and delivery. I wanted my sister to be happy and blessed, and he's blessing her with another daughter. He's blessing me with grad school. He's blessing me with a way to get through grad school, like putting me in this program. He's blessing me with a dream job. So I just everything changed. My eyes opened, like the veil was lifted, like God was working in my life, and all because I made a decision to say, yes, I'm going to delight in you, even though I don't know what's going to come out of it. And so that's one of my favorite things. Let's see. That's pretty much it. And that was one of my favorite times in my life. So much so that switch in 2019, the end of September 2019, was so powerful for me. The redemption process was so beautiful that 2019, to this day, I could say is one of my favorite years. And 75% of it was terrible. But that last 25% of it was beautiful. And it turned into, I planned ski trips with friends at Trinity, and we went skiing together, and it was wonderful. I specifically remember we went to Rio Dosa, and I stood on stage and I sang in front of a bunch of people, like a group of us sang. And if you know me, that's not what I do, but I was so free. I was so free, and I was so happy, and it was incredible. And it turned into 2020. So I got to go to Israel. I don't know if you can see, but these earrings actually are from Israel. So I was honored to get to wear those today because it's so much part of my story. So I got to go to Israel with a group of people. My parents got to go. It was phenomenal. We were gone for 12 days, on the tour bus for 10 of those days. And, it was wonderful. It just was this continuing process. The week we come home was the week that America and the world shut down for COVID. So very thankful the Lord got us back into America. But it just was incredible. That turning point was unreal. It was unreal. And it's been pretty tough since getting back. And we all know that COVID has been tough for us. But for me specifically, it's been very good, but it's still been pretty tough. So yeah, that's a little bit about my breakthrough, my turning point.
I love how when God does something, he does it.
Yeah.
God is not the type of person who's going to do it half-heartedly. No, when he does something, he does it. He goes beyond our expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I just love how you talked about how you were down. You were about to give up. You love to worship. You're sitting down like God. And that's what I love about God. God met you where you were at. Mm-hmm. He didn't say you have to climb this ladder to get to me. He's like, no, you're sitting down, you're disinterested, you might be depressed, but I'm going to meet you where you're at.
Yes.
And I just want to tell people who's watching or listening right now, God, if you ask him to meet you where you're at, he will meet you where you're at. The Bible says, seek God while he can still be found, and you will find him. So this seek the Lord, whatever it is, because there's a saying, Katie, that Jesus cannot heal what you choose not to reveal.
Yes, that's so good.
So we have to reveal whatever we're going through, reveal it to Jesus. And Jesus is, like you said, he's such a gentleman. He's so kind. He's so gracious that he will heal it, that he'll walk with you doing your road of recovery. Because it's one thing to be healed, and there's nothing to go through recovery. But
Mm-hmm.
he's so gracious that he will heal you. Then he's like, take my hand, I'll walk with you. I'll answer your questions. And sometimes God will not answer our questions. And we have to be okay with that, saying that, God has his best interests for us.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I didn't know the purpose behind the pain for years, actually. And to this day, I don't know if I fully understood why what happened to me happened, but I know a lot more. God's revealed a lot more to me, and it's so worth it. So worth it.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more content, subscribe over here and watch the next video over there. God bless you.